What is up, everyone? Collector Z here. We got Destined Rivals just in, and I will be honest, I don't usually open up booster boxes, right? Like, I normally buy just singles, graded cards. I've tried my hand at the kind of mass box opening stuff before, just, you know, getting sets when they first come out. And to be honest with you, I don't usually do too well. Maybe I'm hoping to reverse jinx myself and do well with this box. I've opened just one before this just to get my feet wet. And there we go. And let's see if we did it right. There we go. Perfect. Let's put these off to the side. Let's see if I can get a good spot for them. Perfect. But I just had to with these. I really love Team Rocket sets, and we don't see, well, too many of them. Just gonna go ahead and take these out of the box here. But yeah, like I said, I mostly do singles and graded cards. That's mostly what you will see here on this channel. Let me get rid of this autofocus. Boom. Perfect. All right, pack one here. Let's try and get through these relatively fast, but I do want to just, I want to be able to enjoy the set as well. As part of opening, you shouldn't go straight to the chase card, right? You should enjoy the artwork, especially if it's a new set. And one thing I do like about this set, it has a lot of the old school Pokemon, a lot of the OGs in it, and I really do like that, personally. Tauros, and we got a nice reverse Team Rocket Zapdos. Put that off to the side. So yeah, kind of unironically, I guess, this is going to be my first video on the channel, and I will probably try to do more short form stuff, just show you what I'm acquiring, maybe what I'm taking losses on, that happens sometimes, what I make profits on. I do mostly trading cards, I'll do sports cards, got a lot of Magic the Gathering stuff going out. And I kind of want to start showing you, you know, just, I guess, full transparency, what kind of profits I'm making and what kind of losses I'm taking, that kind of thing. But for this video, I want to talk about the future Pokemon, or what I kind of think currently about Pokemon. I am an original collector of Pokemon. You know, when I was a kid, I fell in love with, oh, okay, a nice little Regirock EX. Fell in love with the show, as many kids once did. And that evolved into, you know, collecting the cards. Fortunately, my mom sold everything at the garage sale. I'll never live that down, or never let her forget that. But no, I don't blame her too much. We never really knew how valuable all of these things were going to be. But anyways, more of a, you know, original old school collector myself. And it's been interesting to see how Pokemon has kind of evolved over the years. Like, it has its waves, and it's so surprising to see it still thriving. I mean, not even surviving, it's thriving. You know, we're in another Pokemon boom, and I never thought I would see Pokemon still thriving, like being the hot thing in 2025. I think that is absolutely crazy to think about. It's been almost 30 years, almost 30 years of Pokemon. That is nuts to think about. And going forward, you know, a lot of people think that we are in a Pokemon bubble, and I do think we are in a little bit of a Pokemon bubble again. But what is interesting to me is it's not just a Pokemon bubble of like old guys like myself now, you know, where I don't consider myself that old, but to all the younglings out there, we're considered old. But it's really interesting to see the young generation, like, this is their generational thing. You have kids going to school with Pokemon backpacks, you know, all of these, you know, their favorite game on their Switch is Pokemon, and they're collecting. It's the same kind of trend all over again. And I find that crazy, because now we're going to have another Okay, we got a little clam pearl here, 195 out of 182. We'll take those. We'll take those. And sleeve that guy up. Nice little clam pearl there. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, now we have a whole nother generation growing up with Pokemon, and that means that with that, there's a nostalgic factor. Where as they get older, as they start making money, oh, I saw something there. I saw a little bit of. Well, let's see. Let's keep going. Q. Did my eyes play tricks on me? It did a little bit. It's Team Rocket's Persian EX. Good hit for an EX, but not the one we were looking for. Alright. Yeah, there's a bit of a nostalgic factor with that, where these kids are going to grow up, they're going to start making money of their own, and, you know, assuming Pokemon's still around, they're going to want to start collecting their childhood, like just how us kind of old guys feel is now we have them. In some cases, now we have the money to kind of spend some money to collect the things that we wanted when we were a kid. The question is, though, Pokemon is at the height of, really from a price perspective, it's at the height of, it's at its peak. You know, there's no denying that. And for some people, it's a bit frustrating because they do want to get back into collecting, but a lot of people feel really just priced out. You can't, in most cases, if you want to get good quality, like high-graded stuff, you can't buy the stuff that you wanted when you were a kid, right? It's just you're completely priced out of that. And so I will say there's a bit of for the nostalgic factor, there's a bit of a price entry, right? You kind of at this point you're paying for what you get, and I'm wondering, is that bubble ever going to burst, right? And it's hard to say because what I see is I do see a healthy ecosystem or a healthy kind of a healthy consumer, right? You have these people who are like myself and they just love to collect at this point in their life. And there's people out there like they're actually enjoying the game, or they're actually, you know, they're younger and they're just wanting to open up the packs. You know, they're kind of starting their journey, so to speak. A lot of EXs here, not the secret rares and the showcase, you know, art versions of them. And I see some shiniest there, but it might just be a reverse. Alright. But yeah, so I get this question a lot as I ruin this TM machine. Is Pokemon in a bubble? My answer to that is yes, I do think it is in a bubble. But I don't think it's in the worst possible bubble it could be in. Because I see a strong group of people, like I would say maybe a little bit more than 50% of people, who are just, they love to collect. Oh, nice. MC's hype, 222 out of 182. This is a good hit. That's a good hit, guys. Guys and gals. That is a good hit. But yeah, you see people like, you know, 50%. Almost 50% of people or more, they just love to open packs. They love to collect, you know, their favorite Pokemon, or they're in the buying and selling kind of hype right now. Collecting, buying, selling. There's a bit of a meta, and you know, that's kind of been gamified. It seems, right? There's enjoyment in that. But there's also this group of people, like they're still playing the games. You know, they're buying the cards, play the game. There's people that they're playing the video games. So there's a strong consumer base. There's a strong economy around, you know, the cards itself. And so it's not just kind of I'll use an example like if any of you are familiar with what happened with MetaZoo, it wasn't just a whole bunch of hype, right? I think MetaZoo, there was some hype surrounding MetaZoo. Nice little Team Rocket's Moltres there. But there wasn't really people invested into the actual universe. You know, very few people seem to be actually invested in the actual like game, the universe, the story. And Pokemon is still a cultural thing. So it's hard to say when the bubble will pop, if it ever does. My feeling is something will need to happen. Oh, nice Team Rocket's Giovanni. 238 out of 182. This is a sick hit. Nice. So we got MC's Hype, Team Rocket's Giovanni. We're doing good. We're doing good. Good box so far. We got about half left. That is a great hit. Prices of these booster boxes are... We'll see. I don't know. It's possible these could touch 400. Like, and I'm not just saying that. Like, right now they're 250, and we'll see what the kind of turn rate or the open rate for these are. Because are there people buying these just to flip them? Are there buying these people to open, like myself? I feel like there's a ton of people buying these right now to open. Probably not good for like single prices, but maybe better for box prices in the near term, near to medium term. Long term, it's hard to say. I mean, they're starting to do reprints on stuff. There's just so much supply of good stuff out there, good quality things with Pokemon out there. It's hard to say what boxes will, you know, accrue most in value over time. But it seems like in the short and medium term, from what I'm noticing, Destined Rivals is going to be a pretty good set. So my hope, personally, as I ordered a case of these, is we hit kind of near that 400 level. I'll probably try and sell around there. And I think at that point, you'll either start to see these just skyrocketing, or they'll level out around that range. My feeling is they'll probably level out around that range. Rapidash, 189 out of 189 out of 182. This is a cool one. Nice. Yeah, we got nice Team Rockets Tyranitar. But yeah, with the whole bubble popping thing, my theory is, for kind of where I see the hype at this point, is if 5-10% of people start losing interest in Pokemon, I think that's when we'll start to see things crumble a bit. Not completely, because there's a ton of people out there who are just, they've made it known they're gonna, if there's any dip at all, like any significant dip, they're buying. And I don't blame them. But I do think that that's when we could start to see things start to potentially crumble. Because FOMO works both ways. And if you guys don't know what FOMO is fear of missing out. So fear of missing out, you can have that on the way up, and you can also have that on the way out. On the way down. On the way up, it feels like, oh, I should buy now because this could be 400, right? Like for example, like prices right now, they're $250 a box, and you may be thinking, oh, they're skyrocketing, they're continuing to go up. If I don't buy now, I'm never going to get an opportunity, and that will just, you know, it creates this fear that you're going to miss out on a lower price or a good deal. It also works on the way down, where say the box is 400 and you're holding some, and it starts going down to 350, you know, 320. And you're holding, and you know, maybe you were hoping for 500. Well, now you might have this feeling, oh crap, if I don't sell this, then I could potentially lose money, or I could potentially, you know, be in a worse situation than I am. Kind of works that way. Nice little Grim Snarl there. But it works that way as well on the way down. You know, you start seeing these graded cards fall in value. You start seeing like maybe some cards just start going to zero. And it creates this narrative fast that, hey, this is starting to die. I need to get out before my cards are worth nothing. And that's where I see Pokemon, it stands out from the rest, because a lot of other games, people don't really actually care about the game. You know, like, they're just, if their cards are going to go to zero, they're going to sell the cards for value. But there's collector value in Pokemon, where a lot of people in Pokemon, like, they're happy if prices were to go down, because now they can get a lot of the cards that they wanted. You know, otherwise there's actual organic collectors in Pokemon, and that's where I see Pokemon still existing, at least for this generation. I would say that it's hard to believe that it would exist anymore after this, but you never know. It's, you know, it's happened 2 different cycles now. And yeah, it's crazy to believe, crazy to see, and crazy to actually, yeah, it's crazy for people's wallets, you know. But yeah, what do you all think of the new set? I'm really enjoying it. I think they've got a nice lineup of the art. For me, as an older school person, the Pokemon that are in this set are great. Yeah, art is good. Some people said that they could have done a little bit better on some of the chase hits. Nah, I think I'm kind of okay with it. I do think that they could have spiced it up maybe with a couple other different, you know, Pokemon. But for the most part, I'm happy with the lineup. On the TCG side, I'm not too sure in terms of the actual game. I've heard mixed reviews. But yeah, like I said, this will probably be one of the more longer form videos. I want to celebrate the channel. This is my first video of the channel. Maybe I'll do some longer form videos. I'm into Magic the Gathering and the sports cards. So I have a couple boxes of some cool, you know, MTG stuff sitting around that I might do the same format with. Just talk Magic the Gathering and talk, you know, what I see the future there. But I wanted to do this for Pokemon because I really do feel like it's something that should be celebrated right now, just because what we're seeing right now is really unprecedented. Like, I don't think we've ever seen something this strong in the TCG world. You could argue Magic, but Pokemon it's just knocking it out of the park. But yeah, I have some sports card stuff, some other collector memorabilia, that type of stuff. But you'll see a variety of things here on the channel, even silver and gold. I'll be showing here. You know, I have some weird, wacky stuff here. So this is a silver ounce. But anyways. All right. Nice Zamazenta here, 201 out of 182. Not sure how many people were going for the Zamazenta out of this. I think most people were going for the Team Rocket stuff, like Team Rocket's Mewtwo. Got a couple, like, you know, Misty's, Lapras, things like that. We got the Zamazenta there. Maybe we'll get lucky with one other. I'll have to look at the price, current price comps, these singles, but I think I'm pretty happy. I'm still probably lost money. Unless I can get it, like, unless I send something in for grading. I'll have to look at, again, what the price comps of things are. Definitely very addicting, I see. Okay, I want to open up another box, but yeah, sometimes you gotta just stay disciplined. But I appreciate everyone for watching, and yeah, hopefully you'll stick around and subscribe. I'll do some shorter form stuff, and you'll mostly see, you know, singles that I'll be valuing, inventory that I'm either getting rid of, selling, or things, you know, maybe taking losses on, or things that I'm acquiring. Let's see if we get one more hit. Okay, all right. I mean, not the one we wanted, but we got a Electivire EX, 221 out of 182. Not the best one that we were hoping for, but can't get too greedy. Yeah, appreciate it. And as we enter this last pack, want to appreciate, tell you I appreciate it, and hope that you guys will continue to join me as we get a nice looking Blaziken. Alright, well that'll do it for this video. Appreciate you guys for watching, and stick around. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.